As long as I do it within, as long as I do this course within 6 months of getting my license, then it's fine.
Oh, okay. Obviously, you'll be doing it within I imagine, a week or so, won't you?
No, the next course is not in February.
Oh, jeez. So you're not going to be getting paid until February?
No, I can start. I can start the same day that I get my license in the mail.
Which is...
Within 28 days, I'll start off last Saturday.
But then you said that the next course isn't until February, so how do you...
Well, basically, when you think about it, all you have to do is drive someone to where they want to go, give them their change. If they're paying by cash, that's all you really have to do.
Okay.
The rest of it's just safety stuff.
Oh, so the course is a refresher rather than a learner.
Pretty much.
Okay. Oh, as long as they're happy. Still got me?
Yep.
Cool. One, two, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome back, everybody, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are back here tonight for the GT4 Championship here on Project Cars 2. Now, for some reason, it didn't let anybody do the fuel at the start, so I'm just going to check to see if people have got enough fuel in their cars to get to the end. I think everybody has. Gonna Steve might be close. Now, we've seen this happen a few times before, quite recently, and it's getting a bit ridiculous, to be fair. I think everybody's safe. Grenadine might be touch and go. he just needs to run it around in 6th, I think, for the entirety of this formation lap. If Granasty, if you're listening, put the car in 6th, save as much fuel as you can on this formation lap. Give yourself a better chance. But here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here tonight at the Motive Racing YouTube channel for the GT4 Championship here on Project Cars 2 for Season 15 on the game and for Round 7. This is races 18, 19 and 20. Sorry, 19, 20 and 21 should I say of this season. I'm joined in the commentary box as always by Emo Guy. Ian, welcome along mate.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to another fantastic night of racing. Just great to be here.
Definitely so. We can see Granasty making his way through, so obviously he's now got the memo that he hasn't got enough fuel to get to the end. Another is Craig. Craig's on his way. I think everybody else is pretty much safe. Maybe Pot the Brown might be a bit close. Pot the Brown might want to get a bit of a shift on here. Everybody else I think should be alright here. Pot the Brown might be wanting to follow suit with these guys because I think he could be a bit close. So I reckon under 20 litres and you're going to be pushing it a bit. But yeah, nonetheless, we're about to go racing here for the first race of the night here at Oulton Park. Obviously, one of the more exciting British circuits, very uncompromising. A track that I personally love. I mean, it's a track that I've always gone well at. What about yourself, Ian? Are you a fan of Oulton Park?
Yeah, but only in selected cars, preferably the touring cars if I can. I still remember the night that I took the two back-to-back wins in the Monster Energy touring car. But
yeah,
it has to hit the right. You have to have the right kind of setup for the track, obviously. But in other words, it's also for the right car. There has to be within a certain power window, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
For it to be a good car around here, in my opinion at least. Anyway, I don't know about anybody else's, but. I'll shut up and I'll let Andy continue with the starting sequence. Okay.
Here we are then, underway for the first race of the night as we come down towards turn 1. It's going to be Smokey Devil leading us away ahead of Park Pooper, followed by Pot the Brown with Doris Styrian ahead of John Boy. And wherever the two guys who were pitted come from, they're now waiting for the pack to pass, so they're going to be coming in at the back of the pack. But Smokey ahead of Park Pooper down towards Cascades for the first time. Park Pooper looking to the inside, but can't make the move. As we can see, John Boy looking to the outside of Pot the Brown here, going through Cascades. He's going to try and get a cut back here, coming down towards Lakeside. You can see he's going to go side by side with him down towards the Island Bend. In the meantime, Smokey's still holding on ahead of Park Pooper for the time being. But John Boy here moving ahead of Pot the Brown into the Island Bend. Up into 4th place. Pot the Brown going wide. Somebody's on the grass there in the background. That's Aussie Albie, who he knows already nursing a bit of a back problem here tonight. And he's dropped down to 10th place here in this race. Pot up as Park Pooper Rex moved ahead of Smokey up into the lead. So Park Pooper now leads, coming down towards Britain's here for the second time. The first time at Racing Speeds. And what Smokey does, I say, oh no! And Doris Steers gone into the bar, gone into the barrier. He's going to have damage on the front. He managed to slow it down quite a bit before he hit the wall, but that will still be big damage there for him. As John Boy here is defending to the inside of Mike. Mike's going to the outside, coming into Hislops, and Mike's going to try and go all the way around the outside here. That'd be a great move from Mike if he managed to complete that one. John Boy's still there, and he goes around the outside of Knickerbrook. Oh, very close there between them, but he gets the move done up into 3rd place. Excellent move there from Mike. Ian.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Given that how close and wild that BMW can be, that was incredible control, throttle control, and use of brakes. It's just overall fantastic.
It definitely was, as he's now looking to try and move ahead of Smokey up into Lodge Corner as well, and that's Mike up into 2nd place. As oh no! And Smokey now loses on the exit of the corner, and John Boy, completely and utterly helpless in that situation, had nowhere to go, and they're both off onto the grass, and they've got damage as well, as they're dropping down to the back of the pack. Smokey drops behind John Boy, lets John Boy carry on, but John Boy's lost a load of places through no fault of his own, and Ian, wrong place at the wrong time for John Boy. Smokey there overcooking it on the exit of Lodge Corner.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where the person that spins, they're the passenger, and the person that goes into them, they're just as much of a passenger as the other guy. They can't do anything about it. They can't slow down at time. They can't turn to avoid it. They cannot do a single thing to avoid the situation at all.
Absolutely not. It was just telegraph. Oh, Paul Piper's lost it there. Coming out of the shallow hairpin. And he's dropped from first down to fourth place. He had a comfortable lead as well. He had stolen the march on everybody here. But it's now Mike, Cobb and Diabetic Lamb quietly creeping his way into contention here in third place on the back of Cobb. Diabetic Lamb driving an absolute cracker of a substitute appearance here tonight. Much better performance from him so far than we saw at Donington on Thursday last week in the touring cars. And he looks to the inside of Cobb into his slots, but can't make it happen at the moment. Cobb holds on to that one, but Diabetic Lamb searching for a move here and driving a really strong race here as a late stand-in.
Well, anybody that knows him, he's well known to the Wolf community, especially towards the beginning of during the birth of the community. He was very well known. So we all know that he's got fantastic commentary skills, as well as he's got really quite good pace on track as well. Right now he is showing that pace, even if it's been a while since he was last on track with us.
Yeah, obviously he had a brief cameo last week at Donington, which didn't really go to plan. It was just, I think, a bit of rustiness. But to be fair, he's rusty tonight as well. He's had no practice. He jumped in very late on, asked me why I was inviting him. But obviously, he knows this track like the back of his hands. He also has driven these cars, I believe, before, and he knows what he's doing behind the wheel. I believe he races on a PlayStation Center remote rather than an actual wheel or a controller.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, I remember that.
We had a bit of a joke going that he drives on a Wii remote.
Yeah, it always kind of hit me rather strange that he actually can race to this degree with that kind of equipment.
Yeah, it's not easy, definitely not. But he manages to make a very good use of it, and he's currently all the back of Cobb here. But in the meantime, whilst these two battle, Mike is riding off into the sunset here. And for most of this season so far in the GT4s, it's been John Boy who's had the lion's share of the points and the upper hand. But tonight, Mike is currently really showing that he's getting to grips with this BMW and is just gradually pulling away out the front. Seems to have control over everybody else. Diabetic's got ahead of Cobb. Oh yeah, Cobb's in. Is he in the wall? No, he's had a spin. Oh yeah, and Cobb as well though. Cobb has gone from, he was battling with Diabetic Lamb a second ago, he's dropped down to 7th, he just got it back ahead of Grandad Steve. So Cobb has gone from 2nd down to what was 8th, it's now 7th. And yeah, you're right, Pot the Brown has also dropped it there. So Cobb and Pot the Brown both dropping it on this particular lap here. Pot the Brown down to P10 as well in that one. But Mike's still out the front, and he's got nearly a 5-second lead at the moment over Diabetic Lamb. Has Diabetic Lamb got any chance of bridging that gap before we get to the end? I think that even if he's quicker at this point, it's going to be a very tall task indeed.
Yeah, I feel inclined to agree with you on that one, because if you look at the lap times, you know, Mike is the only one in the 39s right now, and no other drivers are actually in the 40s yet. Everyone's at 41 or 42. Not another driver is close to anywhere near Mike.
He's in a league of his own.
Yeah, he really is. It's when you get into that flow at this track, that's when you start really noticing that you're pulling away to a really big extent.
Oh, Diabetic's dropped it. So Parkwood was into 2nd. Diabetic Lamb must have had a moment, I'm not sure where. Maybe it was Island Bend. Doesn't have any damage, so he's kept it out of the wall. So potentially it could have been out of Cascades. But Diabetic Lamb there has dropped down to 5th place, and he was in a good position there. But he's lost about 6 or 7 seconds there with that one. And it's now about 4 seconds off of a podium place. Aussie Albie into 3rd place. Has been quiet here in this race. Hasn't really drawn too much attention to himself since his incident, or rather little moment on the opening lap. But he's been really consistent since then. And he's got a bit of a back problem tonight as Aussie. He's a true warrior. He told me not to mention it, but I know he's just being humble. I wanted to just congratulate Aussie on sticking with it tonight and really being a brave soldier out on track. And despite the fact that he's in a bit of pain here tonight, he is actually he's giving it a real good go. So good to see. And he's currently running in 3rd place. So if he can stay where he is, he'll be on the podium here. Oh, as Craig loses it coming out of the lodge and takes the advertising hoarding with him there as he got a bit of a spin, got too heavy onto the loud pedal there going out of the final corner. But he holds on. Diabetic Lamb still behind him at the moment. Cobb has moved ahead of the Mutt Nuts up into P6. So that's job done there for Cobb. Grandad Steve still right behind these guys there in 8th place. But Mike is just absolutely wiping the floor with everybody here tonight. And like you said, Ian, Not a single other driver has even got into the 140s. Mike has done a time in the 139s on the previous lap. He's about a second and a half a lap quicker on average than anybody else out on the circuit. John Boy struggling in P10, isn't really putting the lap times in that we expect from John Boy. I think he might have a bit of damage, which is causing his performance to be a bit dropped.
Yeah, right now Mike really does have more pace than he can shake a stick at. I just love that expression.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that. But
you could use it with pretty much anything like in that kind of context.
Emma there in the comments saying, "Come on, Aussie, he's really struggling. Come on, Aussie, you're doing a fantastic job, son. Really, really good." Granite Steve has lost out to... Wait, no, hold on. No, sorry, Granite Steve's moved up a position. Diabetic Lamb has made another mistake here. So Diabetic Lamb's now got Pot the Brown and John Boy on the back of him here. Pot the Brown looking all over him here. He goes to come into Druids as Diabetic Lamb there. Oh, Pot the Brown rides over the grass there to try and make the move. And he goes wide there on the exit of the corner. John Boy's moved through ahead of Diabetic Lamb, who's really struggling here with, I assume, some hefty damage. You can see there the front end wobbling around a little bit. Diabetic Lamb has been in the wars. He's obviously hit the barrier somewhere on this lap. And is he going to come into the pits and get that fixed, or is he going to just soldier on here? Oh no! Granite Steel loses it there out of Lodge Corner. Granite Steel in the barriers. They are all dropping it like flies here tonight. Diabetic Lamb into the pits at the end of lap 9. Sorry, lap 6 should I say, sorry. I don't know where I got lap 9 from there. Granite Steel into the pits as well. So 2 drivers coming in. And it's been chaotic here. There's no other word for it. But Mike's still leading. He's still pulling out the gap to Part Pooper. Ozzy's still running in 3rd place. He's managing the gap. In fact, he's pulling away from Craig at the moment. Ozzy a second quicker than Craig on that previous lap. So showing he's got the pace here tonight. Despite being in some tremendous pain, he is doing an absolutely phenomenal job so far. John Boy all over the back of Potter Brown here. John Boy lapping in the 143s though. He must have some severe damage here, and there's no other explanation, is there? Surely.
No, I've never really seen John Boy perform badly at this track before. Every time we've came here, he's always performed pretty much at the sharp end. So I really do not know what's going on with him tonight.
Yeah, out of sorts maybe, or maybe it's just damage. Maybe it's just the way that the start of the race went. It's kind of got him into a bit of a rot where you just can't sort of snap into gear, or maybe with less points to fight for, it's depleting his motivation a little bit. I'm not sure, but he's currently closer to the back of Potter Brown than he has been in the last few corners. He's looking into Lodge as he's going to look to the inside as he now cuts back to the outside there, back to the racing line. Potter Brown slightly compromised as he went to defend. Can John Boy get the exit here coming out to the start finish straight? He's going to get a beautiful run here, and he's going to breeze past him down the start finish straight with absolutely no concerns whatsoever. John Boy up into 7th place there with a wonderful exit out of the final corner.
Yeah, he's lined that up perfectly. He must be listening to this, and this must be fire under his belly.
Definitely so. He's getting into gear a little bit now, although having said that, last lap of 143 from John Boy was that because he was trying to pass Potter Brown cleanly rather than barging his way through, potentially so. But Mike's still out the front, leading the race by 13 seconds. This is a sprint race, a 9-lap sprint race, and Mike is leading it by 13 seconds. We've said this season, Ian, we've had a few rounds, haven't we, where we've been scratching our heads a little bit, saying what's up with Mike this season? Maybe he's not as au fait with the GT4s as he was with the Clios and the touring cars. I mean, we can kind of wipe away any doubts from our mind about his ability in these cars based on tonight's evidence, at least, can't we? Because this has been out of this world.
Yeah, if this is indeed a sprint, then this guy must be Usain Bolt, because he is running it away with it.
He 100% is, although saying that in the bigger picture in terms of the season, you need to be able to do this consistently. But tonight, he's well and truly blown them away here. He's still continuing to pull out the gap. A 1 minute 40, low 140s from Mike, and nobody is on that pace. It doesn't matter how much of a clean start he had or whatever, that's all irrelevant at this point. If you look at the timing board, you can see his last lap, low 1 minute 40s. Harper in second, a 43.0, 3 seconds quicker. Ozzy and Craig in the 42s. Cobb there managing a 41.5, still a second and a half adrift. and well behind. What's John Boy managed? John Boy on 41.4. He's still 1.3 seconds off of Mike's pace. This is unbelievable.
I know that the BMW had really good straight line speed, but this is just ridiculous now.
It really is. Raki says this keeps being the best to stream. Lovely and good camera work. Must be fun to commentate on. I love Project Cars too for the camera angles that you get. Obviously on ACC it's very linear. Generally you only get sort of like the trackside view, and you can't really switch to onboard. You can't. Also, you get a lot more options available to you. Although, ACC has its strong points, like more cars on the grid and more realistic physics and everything. But yeah, better graphics. Yep, give it that as well. But yeah, definitely Project Cars 2 has its pros. As here we come, Mike out of the large corner for the final time in race 1. It's going to be an absolute romp here for Mike. Didn't even look back for a second. He dominates the race from start to finish, and it's a win by over 15 seconds in the end. That was sensational from him. Park Pooper coming into the final corner. It's going to be second place for him as he gets onto the power for the final time. And a solid performance there from him, but outclassed by our race winner. Park Pooper second. Aussie's going to come over to take a really impressive third place. Well done to Aussie Albie. Drive. He's potentially already going to get my driver of the day for that one. Craig P4 with Cobb over to take 5th. The Mutsnuts P6 in the end ahead of John Boy in 7th. John Boy in the 41s at the end, so was Cobb, but neither of those two able to even get close to the race winner. Have they got a bit of damage which they're carrying, which could potentially be holding them back a little bit? That's one thing that we need to factor in, which could make a difference. Come race 2, obviously. Doris Stover in P9. Smokey with the next over the line as he's coming out the final corner. And it's going to be a P10 here for Smokey. As there he goes over the line. Granasty and Diabetic Lamb are going to battle out to the flag here as they're coming down to Lodge Corner. Is Diabetic Lamb going to throw one up the inside? He's too far back. Granasty, as long as he's timed his braking to perfection, will be able to get this one held onto as he comes up towards the line. It's going to be Granasty over to take 11th place with Diabetic Lamb P12. And that is that for tonight's first race of the night. Excellent racing there from everybody. And Mike there taking him ahead of Park Pooper with Aussie in 3rd place. And to those of you who are watching on YouTube, we will be going live for a second stream in a few moments time. Give us about 5 minutes or so. I'll be posting the link on Discord, so keep an eye out. I'll be back very, very shortly indeed.